to all of you joining us for the seventh episode of Leadership Talkies Real Talk, Real Impact under the Aspiring CXOs Awards initiative by CXO Junction. Aditi Chandan Shive, your host for today, and I would like to thank you all for joining us here on a Friday for a knowledge exchange afternoon. This isn't your usual webinar series. It's the start of a raw, honest fireside conversation with the mentors under the ACA 2025 program who have been through it all and are here to share the real stuff. And yes, we are doing this every Friday. So consider it your weekly leadership download. An initiative by CXO Junction and presented by 𝐶𝐽𝐻, this series is a part of a much larger mission. And that mission is called the Aspiring CXOs Awards 2025 program. It's more than just an award ceremony. It's a nationwide initiative to discover, develop, and celebrate India's next generation of CXOs. Through this, we are connecting mentors and aspiring CXOs across industries in a powerful year long journey of growth, learning, and leadership. In this series, we will be featuring 50 mentors for hundreds of aspiring CXOs. And there's one vision binding them all to build a future ready leadership ecosystem rooted in purpose, strategy, and impact. At CXO Junction, we thrive on enabling these knowledge exchange conversations. We are the leading tech media house hosting award shows, producing influential content, and running the GB Show, India's longest running podcast dedicated to cybersecurity. Our print and digital magazines, along with our blogs and social media channels, are trusted sources for industry insights and trends, reaching a large and engaged audience across India, Middle East, and other areas of APAC. We collaborate with industry leaders like 𝐶𝐽𝐻 is a cybersecurity company trusted by Fortune 500s and unicorns globally. Their AI-powered external threat intelligence platform helps businesses predict cyber threats before they strike, protect their digital assets, and quantify cyber risks in financial terms. From real-time digital risk monitoring to attack surface visibility, supply chain risk insights, and deep dark web surveillance, 𝐶𝐽𝐻 offers end-to-end protection across over 200 initial attack vectors and 8 plus digital surfaces. Recognized as the number one threat intelligence platform in APAC by Gartner Peer Insights, 𝐶𝐽𝐻 empowers organizations to make cybersecurity a boardroom conversation. Before we move ahead, here's what's in store today. We have an enticing fireside chat with one of the mentors from North under the Aspiring CXOs Awards initiative. Stay with us till the end to receive your certificate of attendance, which will include one CP credit. So let me introduce you all to the stars of today's show. Joining us as our seventh mentor speaker is Mr. Manoj Srivasta, CIO at OneOrderOffer.com. Over 25 years of exceptional global experience in the airlines, airport, travel technology, and e-commerce domains, and as a senior travel technology leader who has demonstrated remarkable achievements. Throughout his career, he has successfully managed IT infrastructure, orchestrated on-premises to cloud hybrid data center transitions, led digital transformations, and overseen CRM and ERP systems. And he's here to share his insights on a very relevant topic: AI in IoT, OT, and Gen Z management, driving innovation and engagement. And moderating this session would be Noel Varghese, cyber threat researcher from 𝐶𝐽𝐻, joining us. So over to you for the conversation.
Thank you, Aditi. So, good afternoon, all. So, here is the first question that I had to ask Manoj sir. So, let's start with your story. Like, what was the pivotal moment when you realized what you wanted to move from technical roles into leadership?
First of all, thank you very much for inviting me to talk about this interesting topic. Now, coming back to your question, like say talking about technology to leadership. So it's not overnight, to be honest. It's going to be entire journey last couple of years, I would say, because once you have a technology, wearing the technology head, so you just only talk about technology. But once the problem is come into your forte and you figure out how to resolve the problem, so then you start thinking from the business angle, what is problem going to solve, when going to be solved, what is the benefit out of it. So is gradually moving from technocrats to entrepreneur, or you can say technocrats to leadership quality. So it's not overnight, I would say, is journey. And yes, leadership will have more strength and talk about business rather technology. Technology, I would say, is an enabler, but end of the day is a business talk.
Thank you for your insights. Now, the second question was, what was the most influential mentor? Who was your most influential mentor? And what leadership lesson did they teach you that you still use today in your career?
Well, mentor, I would say it could be any mentor, like say multiple mentor. When we talk about leadership, it should be one or two maximum. I'm very fond to Mr. Ratan Tata. Unfortunately, he is not no more with us, but I'm very much inspired with Ratan Tata ji and as well as Narayan Murthy ji. These two personality is very, I'm very inspiring to them. And especially when you talk about Ratan Tata ji, is a one-liner statement, I would say. He said, I mean, very famous line. They talk about, I don't believe in taking the right decision. I take the decision and make them right. This is a very appealing word, I would say. And I will follow those statements. And that's why they are Ratan Tata. And one more thing I would like to talk about when last year, October, I think October, 7 October, he died. And everybody talking about Ratan Tata ji. And mostly people are talking about Ratan Tata should have, Bharat, and they should be given to Bharat Ratna. So I put one more statement in somewhere saying that if we make the Bharat Ratna award dignity, should be have awarded. So this kind of a little bit controversial statement, but I would say yes. If you ask me, yes, Ratan Tata should have a Bharat.
Sir, you talked about Narayan Murthy, sir, too.
Yeah, Narayanmurthy, I'm very second leadership, I would say, is a very simplicity man. When I met once in time in Bangalore, just 5 minutes, but the man, the leadership quality with the simplicity, I really inspire with them. So, but we follow all those statements, we follow all the culture, we follow all the lifestyle, what Ratan, Narayanmurthy ji have done as of now.
Both of these industry leaders did lay forward a path for others to follow. So, to their works, to their actions, and all. And I'm glad that it has helped inspire a lot of leaders. Thank you, sir. So, third question was, as a CIO driving AI and IoT initiatives, how do you communicate a compelling vision to stakeholders who may not understand the technology?
To be honest, AI is a deep drive in our personal life as well as professional life. Everywhere you can see the AI, and especially when we talk about use case of AI, then definitely is a challenge. Most of people are not testing it, but just because of this fear of AI, maybe going to be disaster. And especially when we talk about AI, IoT industry, especially for manufacturing, let me take the example for which I'm from, belong to airline industry, airport industry. So most of aircraft is basically flying, and the aircraft have a combination of mechanical device and electronic device. And aircraft, and we have a very less turnaround time to make them aircraft fitment for flight. So the AI is going to be a very crucial role here. To turnaround time should be very important. So I take the example, like say aircraft is flying, and before landing in the night at the airport, engineers should be aware about what parts need to be changed, when is going to be changed. So time frame is very important to change over or turn around the time. So today, AI helping to engineer before landing the aircraft, they prepare the checklist. What is instrument need to be changed? That we call a predictive analysis. And they know the before that, before landing the aircraft. So this is a very crucial, I would say, AI role in the industry. And people are slightly not adopting or less adopting just because of the fear of chance, maybe failure of chance, maybe because of cybersecurity is one of the concern. So yes, it will take some time, but actually, as I said, it's a transformation phase. So once we have a complete and proven AI model, of course, people are any industry they can adopt easily.
Sir, it's nice to hear your insight, like how you have incorporated AI into your company. Like, you may have set out a roadmap on how to incorporate it, and then found out use cases on how to implement it. So these are nice insights, sir. The fourth question was your playbook for leading an organization through a major tech transformation?
Well, playbook is not yes, but yes, you have a personal, framework we call playbook, or you call your personal diary, or whatever you call. But the professional life, you should have framework, any of the tasks when you're going to be executed in the professional life. So that you have to refer the framework, what you have created in a, that to be fitted in every task. So yes, of course, you create a skeleton of the particular playbook and refer to them. And of course, all the ingredients when you taking any task, for example, you doing something internally, you want to implement some task internally in office, and you have a timeline to within 2 days time, 2 days time, or 2 week time going to be deployed. So you take the all task and put in your playbook and just validate, yes, is going to be completed in 2 days time or 2 week time, and is fitment, then you can change accordingly. You can adjust accordingly. So I would say you should have a standard playbook, or you can say framework, to execute all your journey or complete all your tasks.
So I recall a quote that I've heard. So change is always a necessity and it's always the need of the time. So it's nice to hear that always change is being embraced at every stages, no matter the time or whatever it is. So the fifth question was, how do you handle resistance from long tenured employees when implementing these AI IoT systems, or would they be embracing the changes that are brought forward by them?
Okay, so I take this way, like say any task when you implement, and you have a team, right? Okay, and you also part of the team, right? Say, either playing the leadership role or is a one of the team member. So of course you have some long period of time for implementation. You don't find any result. So entire ecosystem, giving some doubt is going to be implemented or maybe failure. So you have to balance those entire your team. Basically, sometimes what happen, you going one of the job, and after some time you feel monotonous is not going to be happen. So you take the team and change over all the tasks one by one, so that every team member have a sync with them. Number one, number two, they have creating interest themselves to complete the task. So that's why long time you can engage the people in a multiple task, or you can say multiple story. So make them interesting task one, and also is going to be completed within time frame.
Right.
I
Yeah,
think
because
I've given the
time
right
is
answer.
pretty, yes, sir. So it depends on how the long tenured employees actually embrace the new technologies, like how they find interest in it. And then always these technologies are integrated because it helps us achieve efficiency in our workplaces. And efficiency is always the meter with which we rank our organizations. So the sixth question was, speaking of different perspectives, how has your leadership style evolved to efficiently manage multi-generational team, especially with Gen Z professionals?
Well, it's a really tough question, because you can see the today, whether as a global perspective or India perspective, 26 or 27% of Indian we talk about is Gen Z. And trust me, and the next generation, Gen Z is going to take over the professionalism, next level. Only thing is Gen Z and professional Gen Z is slightly different, because Gen Z kind of mass people, they want to don't follow the current HR rule or anything. They don't want to keep the interest, discipline, I would say. They change everything, right? So that's the one. And when we talk about professional Gen Z, this is really going to be take over entire journey, I would say. And we should be adopt. We should not be biased with them, because this is the future of India, a future of global leadership. So once as a leadership, we call Gen Z mentee, we should be shape them how future, global future or technology future or leadership future going to be happen. Gen Z is facing very challenge, and at the same time they want to entire rule of business. So I'm very, very positive for Gen Z to take in entire technology or leadership to Gen Z hand. And I would say Gen Z hand, we should be hand to hand transformation. And that's for safest India and safest technology for tomorrow. But make sure what Gen Z is doing is really required to monitor every day, every time what they're doing. But yes, Gen Z, in general terms, we can say Gen Z is very disruptive things. I would say in one word, but yes, is going to be take over the future. It's not right example. You can see the Gen Z, what happened in Nepal a couple of days, but that's not right example. But in entire ecosystem, you say last couple of years, especially for after the pandemic, Gen Z is more aggressive taking over. They're more aggressive to making them rule how next generation will change over.
So it's so as I've seen, it's always like an exchange. So with the older professionals, we gain experience from them, and what Gen Z professionals can give the long tenured employees is dynamism, energy, or the way in which they approach a particular problem or how they propose a solution as such. So it's always a give and take exchange, like the relationship between the long tenured employees and Gen Z employees. And I'm glad that we are always embracing that. So next question is, what's your approach to identifying and developing leadership potential in your younger team members?
Of course, so when you talking about your mentee, so you one or two session, you easily understand who going to be take over next leadership role. So of course, you can give them task. Don't do the micromanagement. You don't do anything day-to-day stepping. Of course, you are only supporting us to mentoring them in terms of technology, in terms of leadership. But let them go as usual, because if you monitoring them and every time you talking about do that, don't do that, all those stuff. Then Gen Z is kind of generation is they're not listen to you. So this is a kind of fragile, generation. So you have to take care of very, very, fragile manner and don't broken them. But yes, is your duty, a leadership role to mentoring them. Then they go to the right path. This is one. And of course, you don't like say we need a actual leadership who day-to-day activity they can explain me. But today Gen Z is not required to any kind of leadership. They have themselves a leader.
Yes, sir. So it's great to hear that micromanage is being discouraged from older professionals, and always good to know that. So the dynamism it's brought forward by newer employees or newer generation employees is always a welcome change in the workplace. Okay. So next question is, innovation requires risk.
बहुत बहुत मुबारक हैं आपको चमको
Yes.
Hello.
So the next question is, innovation requires risk taking. How would you balance the need for innovation with operational stability as a leader?
So risk, if no risk, no gain, I would say, because risk is required. Without risk, your life and your profession or personal life is very, very monotonous. So of course you have to take the risk, but the risk should be very, very calculated risk. When we say risk, of course, you have to complete one task. You take one task which you maybe feel this is very risky. So of course you have a plan B. If this is failed, what is plan B? You have to ready with the plan B. Immediately you can switch over. So if you ask me, I will take risk. Still we are taking risk. And we suggest to all those mentee, which they should be take risk, but be very, very careful. You should be very, very calculated with this. They have to take. Risk is going to be open new opportunity. And when you take the risk, I take the very, very real example. You take the taking some risk and just fear, maybe, because what is fear? Fear is kind of failure. Failure is, I would say, there are no failure. It's a kind of lesson learned.
Yes.
Right. So one, you failure, don't take a failure is a lesson learned and go with the next journey. So most of people not taking risk just because of fear of failure. So one, failure is a lesson. Second is going to be plan B. One is not fail, one is fail, and you have to execute the plan B. And the most important thing is one, you execute successful your risk. So it's giving multiple time of confidence. Yes, we did that. And that going to be take next level. So I would say in one liner is going to be open multiple opportunity once you have it there for risk.
Yes, sir. So some bets play off in the long term. You will feel that you'll feel grateful that you took the risk early on, and some risk may not pay off. But it's always good to have a backup in case something goes wrong. So next question is, how would you continue developing as a leader while staying updated with rapidly evolving technologies?
Well, leadership, you cannot make the leadership. Leadership is quality, I would say, is come inside. So you not make the leadership. Yes, you can guide them, you mentoring them, just level of, enhance those skill a little bit, but leadership quality is inside. So you leadership until unless the person cannot be calibrate themselves, that cannot be, you can't make it. So in other words, like say, if person is very qualified education qualification is very important. And you take the example for today, PhD, IIT, all those things, they are doing very well. But the quality of leadership might be less, might be no sometimes. They are very monotonous. They know yes, I know the coding part of that, and they are very good coder. But when you talk about the business sense, right? So that quality is not there. Maybe is very, very qualified. So leadership is come from the inside.
And like great leaders help inspire leadership in younger professionals like us. So next question is, how do you balance?
No, I would slightly differ on this, because what you can see again, because industry is transforming. Industry is transforming doesn't mean only technology transforming, is entire mindset also transforming at the same time. So when you say leadership, I mean earlier time what happened? Somebody teaching, giving leadership quality. But today leadership, you cannot you can mentor them, you cannot create, cultivate those features inside. So leadership comes from inside only, but only thing is you can maintain them little bit to, we call escalate them, right? Yes, you can give the right path. So, but as a core value of the leadership that comes from the heart.
Yes, sir. So when getting inspired by older professionals' work or how they conduct themselves at work, you get inspired to do the same. And then there are also some other soft skills that may be involved within assuming leadership within the organization. So all of these are things that we need to keep in mind. Next question is, how do you balance between being a mentor and a boss for your direct reportees?
Well, first of all, I not like boss, because boss and leadership is a big difference. Boss is always running behind, and leadership always running, always in our forehead. So there are big difference. Once you have a start quality of switching over from leadership to boss, so everybody, I mean, today generation will definitely will discard you, and that discourage you. When there are no boss today in today environment, everybody leadership, or everybody is kind of colleagues. Colleague, maybe in out of colleague, one or two colleague is a kind of playing the leadership role. But I would say there no existence of boss. It should be not like this. Unfortunately, in the industry, still some a corporate or some company, they have a boss, but I think boss culture is not good health for organization.
All right, sir. Thank you for giving your insights on this. Second and next question is, if you could just give one piece of leadership advice to someone starting their journey in technology leadership, what would it be?
Well, I would say the same statement what told me. I mean, told to take the risk, and whatever they want to, they do that. But if there's something wrong, so leadership quality cultivate like this, they make them right. So I'm really that statement I'm very fond, and I would say all the mentee should be follow the Tata. I mean, that one of the leader I'm very, very inspired. So that's my message to everyone and every mentee. They have to follow leadership themselves and keep learning. This is very, very, very important, and keep cultivating themselves professionally and personally life. That's all for message from my side.
Yes, sir. So irrespective of industry, this particular piece of advice would be beneficial for many who want to, aspire being a leader in their workplace. And lastly, we have this question, that is, how can our mentees in the audience continue learning from your leadership approach?
Sorry, I'm not listening properly. What do you say?
All right. So the last question is, how can our mentees in the audience continue learning from your leadership approach?
For me, still I'm learning. So, and I'm learning from mentee also sometime. So it's a kind of journey. I would not say, yes, I would say there are a lot of mentors, there are a lot of leaders. Today, Gen Z or mentee, they're supposed to take only positive side of the story of any of the mentor, any of the leadership. And of course, there are a lot of, the decision maker, and maybe I'm not like, maybe I would like the decision, but most important thing is a decision should be continued by Gen Z only, because next generation is a hand-on Gen Z. So Gen Z decide which is good mentor, a good leadership quality, and only I would say take the positive side of the leadership.
Right, sir. So this is another piece of advice that would be useful for everyone who is in this call and for everyone who is aspiring to be a leader in their workplace or in their industry. Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you. So we have wound up with our set of questions with the leader. Aditi, if you could take over, please.
Thank you so much, Noel, and thank you so much, Manoj sir. Like, even I was intrigued throughout the conversation and loved to be a part of this and to know, how we can, churn out the Gen Z in the environment that we have. That was really unique topic and really great to hear someone speak on that topic. If anybody has any questions, they can just ask in the Q&A or in the chat right away. We'll wait for a minute. So in case anybody doesn't have any questions now but want to, put their, how can we, no, we do have questions. How can we mitigate the risk of next gen? Sir, if you'd like to take over for this.
How can we mitigate the risk? Yes, I just said mitigation, we should have a plan B to mitigate those things, or you can say eliminate those risks. But yes, without mitigation, without B plan, I would say not to take risk, because one word I'm very, very given to everybody: take a calculated risk, rather risk. And I will go with a little bit more technical part of that. When you have a mitigation, so of course, when you're writing the code, there are mitigation steps you have to follow. If this code not work, so we have to go with the, some sanity, and we have to correct my code. Just I'm giving the very low hanging items. So mitigation is of course going parallelly, and I'm technical word I would not say, but yes, you have to take the B plan if one plan is failed. I'm not sure I'm giving the right answer or not. What is typical day of CIO?
Of
Oh,
a
very tough day, I would say. CIO started day with I will go in office, work this is my email, I will next my meeting schedule and all those things, but actually it's not happened. They start with the, hey, why, and this not working, that not working, server not working, cloud not working, and an entire plan, what they, while driving, they planning to do, mujhe office jana, and first is my priority is this. Plot is still there, but entire day is changed based on how your environment is moving. You have to move accordingly, because when in fact, where I'm working, day-to-day operation, you have to involve those things. You want to streamline. To be honest, is a happening. I'm not sure with all the CIO, but my experience is most of CIO want to go with the structured way, and everybody make the life easy, but actually it's not the case. When you step in an office, you find different environment, and entire day or half of day, the fixing those issue is completed. Till the time you find, oh, now is my time. I mean, you have a priority list to do that. Till the time is day over. And trust me, you have a lot of plan, and your plan is just plan, never executed. So you are only involved in day-to-day operation. This is a day of life of CIO. I'm not sure how many people accept this.
Sir, that actually made me really grateful for you to take time out of your schedule and be in this session as the speaker, hearing about your
Thank you.
day.
Thank you.
And also, we have another question from Padma Prasad himself. What are the various tools to keep yourself updated with emerging tech?
Yeah, of course. What is the various tool? Oh, tool could be anything. And like I say, first tool is everybody knows that ChatGPT. And you make the ChatGPT is your day-to-day, buddy. I mean, your personal life, your official life, they will guide you how you go about. So tool is various tool. Which tool is very, very, you are familiar with them. You adopt as one of the buddy, and you take the, journey ahead. And I would not say any particular tool, but yes, tool you can choose. Tool in terms of when you writing the code, you have a lot of tool to get involved that. And I mean, there are a lot of, I would say AI tool available who will guide you in terms of writing the code. today because there are no deep dive coding right now. Like say ChatGPT, and there are a lot of AI tools giving the code itself. You can take the code, write the code, ask them, they write the code, and you take the code and configure a little bit, and you run the entire application. So that's the kind of shift, complete shift is happening.
Thank you so much, Manoj sir. And yes, I believe everyone is really happy with the answers. And we also have our feedback form that we'll be putting in the chat right away. You can fill in that feedback form with any feedback that you have from today or any topics that you'd like to see in the future. You can put your, please remember to put your proper and correct email ID in the feedback form so that you get your certificate of attendance with 1 CP credit on your registered email ID. So please do fill in your email ID properly. Give us a feedback about this event. We'd really like to hear from you. And if you have any more questions, Manoj sir can answer them anytime. And thank you so much. First of all, thanks so much, Manoj sir, for joining us here today. We are really grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you for
Thank
being
you. Take care.
here and fulfilling those mentorship duties. And thank you so much to Noel for moderating this session so seamlessly. And we are really glad to have you here with us. Thank you so much to everyone for joining us here today. And we'll be seeing you next Friday, same time, with our next mentor and speaker for the event. So see you all and have a great weekend. Bye bye.